Hi, and welcome to the webinar. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join me. Just thought I'd say hello. Nice headset, as you can see. Show you that it is live, and I am here talking to you now about your web questions. Thank you to everyone who sent some in already. There's a question box, which I'll show you in a minute, on the right hand side of your GoToMeeting toolbar. You can use that to ask more questions now. During the course of the event, if something comes up you want that clarified, I've got someone that's taking the questions and will feed those through to me at the appropriate time. So do that. It's a completely live event, and it's sort of unscripted because it's just a case of showing you your questions, answering them, and taking a trip around various web pages. So I have no safety net. I may fall at times. Please bear with me. I'll try to give you some really useful content. And the first thing I wanted to say was I meet lots and lots of solicitors, and most of them I meet before they do anything with me or start working with me are worried about what's going on out there, the legal market, the lack of opportunities, or as they see it, the lack of opportunities. But all I want to say to you is don't worry. There are loads of opportunities. I know loads of law firms are doing really well, growing their profits year on year, and still doing incredibly well. Hopefully I'll give you some ideas today that will make you realise it's not impossible, it can be done. Of course it's not easy. If it was easy they'd all be doing it, but the problem a lot of people fall into that I meet is they accept the negative media, they accept the stories that there's a recession, it's now a double dip recession, you might as well give up, just shut your doors and not try. That's nonsense. If you do that, then of course it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, as it has done for many firms already, and the doors will shut. But if you do something, if you take action and take consistent action, which is the key with all marketing, then you will get results and you will achieve success for your law firm. So please don't worry, take some of these tips today, do something with them. And I've got loads of tools you can use. Some of them are free, some you can buy. I'll mention those during the event. I'm also going to make you a special offer at the end to help you get even to make more progress more quickly. You can take that or leave it. It's completely up to you, but I just want you to know there is help here if you need it. And if you don't know where to start, then I can show you where to start. So let's get on with your questions now. Let's get rid of my ugly face for you, which will be a relief, I'm sure. So as I said, on the right hand side of your toolbar in the middle here, you've got the opportunity to ask questions. You'll see this orange arrow. You can click that and ask questions as we go through, and they'll be fed through to me. So the first question I have is, do you believe that print advertising works? Absolutely yes. I'm a massive fan of print advertising, but not the way print advertising has usually been done by solicitors, and not the way it's traditionally done. So I'll give you some examples in a minute, but the key thing with advertising is there's some great deals to be had at the moment because the advertising market is suffering. So there's great deals in print to be had if you negotiate, if you know to ask for those discounts. You have to know your market. So if you operate in a niche section of legal services, where do your readers go? Where do they read? What do they read? And how can you get in front of them? Find publications that they read. There are some excellent niche publications and magazines for all sorts of things out there and all sorts of interests that you wouldn't quite believe. So if you find that there's commonality for your target market, if you work with the construction industry, if you work with old people, if you work with a certain demographic, there will be a publication where your potential clients are reading. Of course, if you're a local firm, there's local papers where your clients are reading. If you put in the old standard ad of excuse me, firm name followed by list of services followed by phone number, it won't work. So print advertising won't work in those ways. If you do what I'll show you in a minute, it certainly can work. And the test I now use, which was given to me by one of my marketing for solicitors member firms, thank you Simon, is it's a very simple one. If you spend £100 on an ad, if it doesn't produce £300 worth of income, profit costs, then either change it, run it again, or bin it if you can't make it work. Every ad has to produce a return on investment. A small firm cannot afford to waste money on advertising. If you put an ad in, it's got to give you a return. Okay, so let's look at the next question. What is the best way to make the most of newspaper advertising? Well, I have previously prepared and written a guide, Advertising Success Secrets, which costs £50, available from the website, but I'll show you how you can get this completely free at the end of this event. And there's some basic information in here which I hope you will find useful. The first thing is not to follow this standard ad that we see here of ABC and Co. It doesn't work. You need to make your ads stand out and to appeal to your audience. And if you're advertising in a local paper and you're pitching it at families, then you need a big headline that talks to those families, that talks to the people that might use your services. Your firm name is absolutely wholly irrelevant to them. And yet, whenever I travel the country, which is quite frequent, and look in local papers, every solicitor's ad I see, bar none, has the name of the firm at the top. I'm afraid your clients are saying, so what? They don't care about your firm name. They're not interested in your firm. All they are interested in is what you can do for them. And that's what marketing is all about. My rule for marketing is clients first. Put your clients first in everything that you do, and you will see massively improved results, dramatically improved results. So if you're doing this at the moment, good news for you. I'm going to show you how you can quickly get out of this way. As a show there, you'd never get Tesco doing that. They're a little more creative for their advertising. So when you're writing an ad, how do you do it? Well, the traditional way was to use AIDA, which is attention, interest, desire, and action. And that works to a point, but I always found it was slightly lacking in being creating a compelling advertisement that brought people straight to your door. So I created my own system, the Pastel system, which briefly, you have to create a problem, tell the audience, talk to the audience in terms of what their current problem is, agitate that problem by showing them what effect it's having on them. Then start to bring in a solution, then travel with that solution, show them how you can help them, you can get them away from this problem, make them an offer, and then you need a really strong rallying call to action. If there's no offer in your advertisement, and there's no deadline, and there's no call to action, and you don't drive home hard what you're trying to get them to do, then you will struggle to have success. If you follow this system, you will have success. So a quick example, and I won't go through this in too much detail, but a traditional ad would be make a will with us. The problem with that is you might grab attention for someone that at that second is thinking of making a will, but for the other 90% of the audience that should make a will but aren't thinking about it, it's not going to work. So you need to talk about something that will stand out for them, and most of us it's our family, it's our children, and if you see something about your children, you tend to want to read on. So are you sure your children will be properly provided for, cared for, taken care of, whatever you want to say? And again, the AIDA system will go straight into drafting that, straight into we can draft a will that takes care of all your wishes. So they've sold the will, they've tried to do the whole thing in the headline. The headline and the sub-headline are there for one purpose only, and that is to get people to read your advertisement. Don't try and sell from the headline. Don't put your firm name there. Don't put your service there. Give a problem, agitate it, and get them to read. So in this case, it might be, did you know that if you fail to leave a will, your wishes for the guardianship of your children may not be taken into account? Now, as a parent, that's gonna strike home with me, and it's gonna make me think, okay, I might be a bit more interested in this now. Solution, traditional example, wills from only £79. Not a fan of selling wills on prices, by the way. No one's asked me any questions about pricing today, but let me tell you that you can charge more for your service. If you think that your service is sold purely on price, I promise you're wrong. If you're marketing in the old way of just being there and hoping the work comes through the door, then you will have difficulty on pricing. If you are generating your own inquiries from your own database, which will come on later, you don't have problems with pricing. You can charge a proper price for your decent work, as you should do. And that's the reason you entered the profession. It's the reason I entered the profession to do so, and you can still do that. So here we have professionally drafted will. It ensures that your wishes for guardianship of your children are properly taken into consideration. The all-important part, at this point, AIDA, the traditional model, attention, interest, desire, action, just says call us. You have to make an offer. This is what I say, an offer is crucial. So you can limit that to a number of people, or you can limit it to a time period, but you want people to take action, to get off their backsides, pick up the phone, go to your website, whatever you want them to do something so that they come to you and ask for your help. Otherwise, there's no point in your advertising whatsoever. So you have to have a compelling call to action, and then you really have to ram that home to make sure they do something. Everybody is busy. Everybody is time starved. If you've managed to do all the bits well to this point, you've got them interested, it's relevant to them, you've spoken to them in terms of the headline, you've got them interested in your subject, you now have to finish the job, otherwise you've missed the point. Okay, so it's really crucial that you give a strong call to action. Now in that advertising toolkit, at the end there's a couple of precedents that you can copy, use, adapt in terms of what you can do to drive home your advertisements. And advertisements should be working for you now. They should be creating results. They should be creating instructions. I had one client whose question comes up later, Mark here, who said he got 3 jobs so far from his recent ad. Don't know if this is good or bad. Well, 3 jobs from an ad. I don't know what the ad cost. I know that he does. I know his rough areas of law. I'm sure it's easily covered itself and probably hit the 3 times rule, in which case, yes, why wouldn't you keep advertising? If it's created specific work, then it's a good thing to keep doing it. The only other issue is, do you try and sell your services direct from the ad, or do you go for lead generation? And I'll touch on lead generation later, but if you're trying to sell your service immediately to people, then you're going to cut down the number that can reply to you. However, if you have some email marketing software and you can offer a free report, for instance, Free Will Report shows you how to protect your children, go to a website, download it, that will get you a higher response. It won't get you immediate instructions, but then when they download the report from your website, much as you've done in the past, you've come onto my website, downloaded my 8 ways to increase profits, attract clients guide. You've then had follow-up emails from me which told you about this webinar. You've at some point decided to interact with me. Your clients will do the same if you give them the opportunity to do so. So if you did that in an ad, and you'll notice that Savvy Marketers, Which magazine, Which the organization who are moving into the legal services market, they never promote their service. They always promote a free guide. Get our free guide to buying washing machines, get our free guide to having a will. So they're doing that for a good reason. They know once they've got someone's name and email address and a postal address, if they want it, they can follow up and keep talking to them until they are ready to buy. And that's lead generation advertising, and that is the best form of advertising. And if you haven't yet tested it, I recommend you do. Next question. My question relates to Yell. The pop-up products they are now selling, and whether they are worth incorporating into our overall marketing mix. Let me know if this is going ahead so you can record it. Yes, I told you it's going ahead, and hopefully you're live there, Jackie. Thank you for the question. No, I hate Yell. Sorry, it's a personal thing. But if you look at Yell, it's a prime example of a business that has never adapted to change. And it's miles behind the time, and it's desperately trying to play catch up. And in my opinion, it's too late, and it's missed the boat by a country mile. So they are advertising all sorts of packages now. Obviously the Yell directory, which is practically obsolete, as you'll have seen by the size of it. They're advertising, offering online advertising, but all they're doing is reselling Google ads. And I'll go into Google ads later because someone's asked about that. So they're a second-hand reseller. They've missed their chance. They should have gone online from day one, and Google would never have taken over the world. But they wanted to stick to their traditional model of print advertising, and they missed the boat. And in my opinion, they are miles behind what everyone else is doing. So if you've done everything else with your marketing, you've got the best website in the world, you're advertising and getting results from that every week, you have a full set of brochures in your practice, you've done everything you can possibly think of, then maybe give Yell a try. But until that point, I strongly advise you not to waste your money, Jackie, and anyone else that's looking. I'm not a massive fan of Yell. I always used to say that when the printed directory did work, people went there just to get your phone number because there were too many ads to make an informed decision about your service. The Yellow Pages rep confirmed that to me in a meeting and said 63% go to get a phone number of a firm of solicitors they already use. Okay, so what's the point of advertising for the other 37%? And so I cut him off our account for many of my solicitors. He wasn't that impressed, but he'd given me the information that I'd always thought was there. Quality solicitors at the top. That's definitely a conversation for another day. Let's go back to some questions. Right, we're now onto some web design questions. And first one is from Mark Cook. I'm in the process of updating my website and have received a couple of preliminary drafts of the feel of the site and general note copies. No problems with the website designer. My main areas are domestic conveyancing, general private client work, but also I want to develop the commercial property and business client side of things. So let's have a look at Mark's site. This is his new design. I like the look and feel. It's clean, it's fresh. Obviously the web page would move over to the center when it's a live site. This is just an image. In terms of overall design, the actual center column where I put a big tick, big fan, left navigation, central content, right hand call to action. I'll come back to that in a minute. And members of my marketing solicitors service, one of the blueprints that is online in the private zone shows you how to set out a website pretty much like this to get the best results from everyone that finally visits it. So it's key that you get the design right, and there's some things we can improve here, definitely, Mark. Number one, property legal advice done properly. What I don't know is whether that's a revolving header, so it might then go on to employment and wills, commercial property. So I don't know if that's going to change and remind people that you do other things as well. Obviously, it should do. You don't want people to think you're just property when you've got other services. So that's quite crucial. The second point here, my beautifully drawn number 2, we make time to build partnerships with our clients. I would just say there that's very legally point from the solicitor's point of view. I would change that to make. I like the fact that there's a strap line, but I'd say we make time to build partnerships with you. As a client, I'm on your website. I'm just thinking about me. I'm not thinking that I'm a client. I'm thinking about my legal needs at that moment in time. So changing that to with you tells me you're talking straight to me. So I definitely do that. Number 3, if this is smaller firms, I believe it is, Mark Cook Solicitors, and I like anyone that puts their name on their firm because it shows you can't hide from that. Then I'd have a personal picture on here. I'd actually have Mark Cook pictured. Not a fan of stock photographs, which is why you see my hideously ugly mug plastered all over my websites. Because I want you to know this is me, you're dealing with me, and that's why I'm on this today. It's not palmed out to staff that don't know what they're talking about, don't care about you. You deal with me. This is what I do every day. So I'd much rather see a personalised picture here, and that goes for all solicitors' websites. I can't stand stock imagery. People deal with people. That's true in every aspect of service, and they want to see what you look like. I'm not a fan of photos in front of libraries, in front of all the books, but your own pictures outside, somewhere else, great. Point 3.2 was just to say that this is where your Amazon Buy Now button should be. So if it's just a big image, that's wasted opportunity. I'd cut the image size in half, have one personal image, and underneath that have a make a free inquiry now, call us on this number, or fill in some details below, name, email, phone number, brief details of inquiry. In our experience, and I handle hundreds of website inquiries, in our experience, 60% of people would rather fill in a short inquiry form than pick up the phone. 60% of inquiries come from short inquiry forms. So if you don't have that inquiry form on every page or easily accessible from every page, you are missing huge opportunities. So strongly recommend on your website, if you don't have an inquiry form, you are missing work, because some people just want to have a look, make the inquiry, don't have time to speak to you at that moment, but if you get their name and email, you can follow up and you can get their business. So missing opportunities there if that's not the case. And then number 4 on the left hand side here, testimonials. I'd be inclined to swap and put that over here so that it's on the right hand side. People tend to read websites in the sort of image of an F. So they come on, they look at your logo, look at your strap line information, go on and read the navigation, move over to the central content at point number 3. Then they click on your Buy Now button, and if underneath that Buy Now button there's feedback from someone just like them who was thinking of using your conveyancing service, went on and used it and loved you and thought you were fantastic, that's a great place to stick it, because there's 2 jobs with a website. One is to get them to find your website in the first place, and the second one is to take away reasons for them to leave your website. And testimonials are a great takeaway reason for them to stop them leaving your website. If you don't have testimonials on your website, you will lose visitors, you will lose inquiries. Okay, so you might be getting traffic now and not getting enough instructions. That could be one of the reasons. Not an easy contact form and no testimonials from clients. So that's Mark's website reviewed. If you've got any other questions, Mark's an M4S member. He knows he can email me with any follow-up he needs. Next person is also a Marketing for Solicitors member, David Lego, and I've done a personal video review for David of his new website design. So he's having a look through that and making some changes. And the next question is from Bola. She's got a question about her new website design as well. So let's have a look at this. Come back to that one. You've done a great job there, Nick. I've missed a question. I shall find it now. Let me rectify. Told you it was live. work those fingers, Jervis. Here we go. Here's Bowler's website. So let's have a look at this one. Number one, thing you have to remember about web screens is people view them on different size browsers. So if I take this up to a silly size, which it will be on some people's phone, you see that half the page is already taken up of an image size, and that will apply to people on iPads, etc. And if you have such a big image like that, and it's stock photography, and I've already made a comment about that, but if you have such a big image as that and it follows through onto the internal pages, then it's stopping you from, people will go off your site, they'll go on, they'll think, oh, I can't read anything, go off, go to the next lister. So I'd make the image smaller, I'd make it personal, and perhaps I'd put this strap line up where the number one is, so that we can then safely reduce the size of that image, and within that image contain some other important reasons why you're the right firm for me. Number two, again, personalize that image, make it relevant, and number three is to say the sub navigation. I like the fact that it's easy to see what other type of work's available, but could that be at least alphabetical? At the moment, doesn't seem to have any logic to it. Alphabetical is the only logical way to list your services, so I'd definitely go for an alphabetical listing. If we come down the page, free initial consultation with that tick like that, keep our overheads low, pass on the same as you. So we've got some compelling reasons of why you're the right firm for me. I might be inclined to put those up here over the image, and we will work with you to find a way to take your case forward. Again, very legal talk, try and make it all about the client, so to take your matter forward. You've got to, all the language needs to speak to the client and make it feel it's all about them, and that's all we're interested in. So for that one, definitely there's some changes there that could be moved. I know this is a draft design, so Bowler's come to me while she can still make changes and before it goes up, so hopefully they are helpful. Next question. I like this question a lot because it covers several important elements. So thank you, Peter. I work in personal injury primarily. If you look at the website for this firm, I think it's fair to say it looks like we are basically an estate agency and conveyancing firm. Over many months, I have tried to increase the presence and content on our website of personal injury claims as a service. I'm frustrated in this partly by having no apparent power to put content on the website. The company that designs the website and maintains it says it would be too difficult to give power to add content. What a load of poppycock. We'll come on to that. I'm wondering if you would recommend the setting up a new and separate website for the firm covering exclusively personal injury, and also whether you would recommend us trying to do something like that largely ourselves using WordPress. I know one of the obvious solutions is change the company that runs your website, and at this moment I think Jeremy Clarkson comment is replied, absolutely, shoot the web designers, and not literally. But this frustrates me so often. I hear solicitors who don't have the expertise and are told by their website designer, oh, we can't do that for you, that's too difficult. What a load of rubbish. That website designer that is currently costing your business money and is losing you business will not come and bail your firm out if you go bust, if you don't have enough work, because your website's not working hard enough. They won't come and give you all the money back for their rubbish website design services. I think you could probably tell nothing frustrates me more than pathetic web designers ruining someone's business. They shouldn't have the right. Don't let them have that power over you. If they are like that with you, you have to get rid of them. If the partners in your firm won't get rid of them, I would say get rid of your partners, that they might be listening, but get a separate website, as you say. That might be the only option, but you've got to change your website designer. It's just ridiculous and nonsense. And as you say, it'd be very easy to put a WordPress blog in your personal injury section, and then you would have complete control about adding content to that. Let's have a look at your website in more detail. Nothing wrong with the overall design. I'd have some call to action here. As you say, it's very much conveyancing based, but again, one of the problems people make is they assume everyone goes to their homepage, but very few people do. If you do the website marketing well, people will land in your accidents section, and you can make them feel that your website within that section is purely about accidents and shows your expertise. So the homepage doesn't really matter. Solicitors and estate agent, okay, that's fine. That, in Scotland, that's far more acceptable. You managed to do it successfully up there, whereas most people in England and Wales failed. So that's just a market difference. But if we go through onto the accident and injuries section, we could make this very much bespoke accident section. This could be a complete WordPress blog. You could remove the other areas of navigation and make them all personal injury related. Just have a home page for them to go back to. An image up here which explains why you're the best personal injury firm for me, you could get rid of that property search. We could even get rid of the and estate agents if you wanted to. And that could all be completely done for you in a WordPress blog. It would be simple to do. It wouldn't be expensive to do. And as I say, your website designers are talking complete baloney. And if you'd like me to have a chat with them, I'd be delighted. So you could do that, and then what you could do is you can add as much content as you want down here to give me belief that you are experts in personal injury claims, and to make sure that you're the firm I want. I mean, if I go into a personal injury section, I want to see sort of 20 or 30 pages showing me your expertise. I also want what you've got to do here is imagine I type in personal injury solicitor, I land on your site, and I'm thinking about choosing you. On the left hand side where you've got the navigation here, you've got to take away any reasons for me not to come to you or to go off your site. So there's nothing here about costs. So I'd want to see a cost navigation, and I'd want to see the team on there. And so everything is in one place. I come into PI, I can see what you could do. I can see the cost situation. I'm happy, and I know that I can use you for your service. So that for me is perfectly doable. You don't have to stay with your current designers, and obviously I urge you not to do that. So the answer there is simply to sack your website design company, or to at least make them do what you want them to do and put a WordPress blog on there and totally personalize it to your personal injury section. And if they can't do that, then we can do that for you, Peter. So come to me if they're struggling. We could do that behind their backs just with your FTP details, so they wouldn't even have to know. But don't let your web designers ruin your business. Please don't let them ruin your business. As I mentioned, the key I like to see on the right hand side, a call to action inquiry form to make it easy to get in touch with you. And we'll look at that now in terms of website marketing. So next question. Thank you, Peter. Next question. My question is, how do I make our website generate inquiries? Well, that's quite a big question. So I put it under the category of website marketing. And before we go into the detail of different types of website marketing, just wanted to show you the different parts. So let's do a search on solicitors marketing, and you'll see these top 3 results, 1, 2, 3. These are all pay-per-click advertisements, and I'm going to show you some pay-per-click, and all the ads on the right are pay-per-click as well. So if anyone clicks on here, clicks on any of these ads, these people will pay a click cost. It could be anything from 10p to, if you're in the unfortunate personal injury sector, up to £30. So that's pay-per-click. Organic listings appear down the left hand side, and you'll see for solicitors marketing, which is quite a key term to me, I'm in position 1 and 2, and that's organic traffic. And there's ways of getting that, and I want to sort of run through how you get more traffic to your website, and answer David's question about how can we get more website traffic and how can we get leads from our website. So let's look at my page, and the first thing you'll do is think, gosh, he puts a lot of words on there. There's a reason for that. Google needs at least 400 words on each page to make sense of what you're talking about. If you don't put that much content on there, how's it going to know that I'm talking about marketing a solicitor's firm? So, and people, again, designers, this is where designers need to be shot for a second time, will often say to you, well, I'm not putting 400 words on a page, it makes the site look untidy. And it may well do, but let me promise you, my site attracts a lot of visitors and brings in a lot of business for me. And my solicitors' websites do the same. They've got more content than you would expect to see, but that's because Google needs that to work out what your page is about. Now, forget Google for a minute. Human visitors also need that amount of content to work out what your page is about. How can a human work out how much information is there, what you do, that you're the right firm for me, how are you going to help me if you've got 2 or 3 lines there? And let me give you one example just to prove this point. I worked for a firm many years ago before I left the law, and was purely in a business development role, and the proudest thing I achieved for that firm was putting up a fantastic website that generated a lot of inquiries for them. I met with the senior partner a couple of years later, and he said to me, oh, we got rid of that website you did, Nick, and we've just cut it down, we've simplified it, we've got 5 very short, sweet pages, and they all fit in just a few lines, so people know what we do, and there's no nonsense on there. And I said, that's interesting. I said, so I expect you've stopped getting inquiries on your website then? How did you know that? He said. I knew that because he'd lost all of the good work that had been done. He got rid of all of that content. Google suddenly had no idea what the website was about and stopped sending anyone to it. So there's a sad lesson to be learned there. That firm is no longer around. Don't let that happen to you. Some people like to read a lot of content, some people don't. So have bullet points to break it up for those that just want to skim read, and headlines. And for those that want lots of information, have lots of information there for them. Okay, so it's vital that you have enough information on the page for someone to be able to work. And this page is about solicitors marketing. If you're Reading solicitors, this page has to have enough information to work out that you are solicitors in Reading. Wherever you are, whatever you do, each page needs to target very closely what you're looking at. Looking at the back of this page, the back end code, and I'll do the video of this for you, but just so you can, these are the most important parts. Your title up here, your keyword, your description, and your keywords, and you'll see that I repeat solicitors and marketing and legal in there regularly, because this is what people see when they type in a search for you. So if we go back to my page, when I typed in solicitors marketing, the legal marketing help to win you new clients, legal marketing services specialists. Read this free law firm marketing guide online now. You'll notice that's in leading capitals and no one else is. That's because I could get a better click-through rate, so it might not be grammatically correct, but it will get me more visitors to my website. I've tested that. The title is at the top here, so this is why when the back end of your website is so important, and so few people take time to actually do this. Many times I see a solicitor's website and every single title of every page is the same. It says the firm name and the town they're in. Then it says firm name, town they're in, list of services. Then it says for keywords, list of keywords. Each page should not target more than sort of 3 keywords. And they should be related. So if you're doing solicitors Reading, you go solicitors Reading, Reading solicitors, solicitors in Reading, or law firm in Reading. They would be very tightly related to it, and so each page needs to be very specific about what you're targeting. So enough content on the page, the back end has the right information, and this is responsible about 40% of your optimization, getting this free traffic we talked about, getting you to the top of Google. That's about 40% responsible for achieving that. And that's a key thing to do. So that alone, if you do something about that now, that alone tells you you can make changes to your website to get more free traffic to your website and get more inquiries. Once they're on the page, the testimonials, as I say, to take away the reasons for them to leave so that you can see other people that have done it. Strong call to action, which for me is as I said, lead generation. I want people to go on my email list to see if they like what I say so I can follow up, send them the report, send them more information. And if then they decide, yes, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about, we want to get involved with him, they can come and do that with me. For you might want to have a strong call to action down here where you say, call us now, fill in our free inquiry. That's what you want them to do. But my main purpose on this page is to get them to fill in this form so that I can keep talking to you. And if you decide this advice isn't for me, I'm not going to actually change and I'm going to keep doing what I've always done and get diminishing results. That's fine, off they go. But if you're someone that realizes change is needed and you need someone to help you, then you'll come to me. That's the point of lead generation. Now, once you've done your on-page optimization, you've done the back-end, title, description, keywords, and you've worked out the content on the page, then the next stage is, how do you get further to the top of Google? For my solicitors marketing search, how do I get to the top of Google? And this relates to you getting links back to your website. If you can post on forums that are legally related and link back, and blogs and comment on blogs, that's great. And then the easiest way to do it is to start sort of submitting articles. To help Google know that you're serious about wanting to get more traffic to your website, you should be adding approximately 8 articles a month. Sorry if I gave you a heart attack. 8 articles a month, and then you use article websites to generate links back. And what the heck am I talking about? Let me show you. So here's an article I put: great ways to attract more clients to your law firm, and this article is a powerful article website, and at the end of these article websites, they give you the opportunity to link back to your firm, and you'll find these links interesting. I'm targeting some different keywords for fun: legal funding, because I've got a great legal funding provider, and also better looking than Daniel Craig. And the only reason I did that was because my wife's got a thing about Daniel Craig. I wanted to prove to her that I was clearly better looking than Daniel Craig. And who is the definitive? Who is the people that know that? Well, that's obviously Google. So if you Google that, you find I am better looking than Daniel Craig. Just checking you can still hear me. I've got some feedback. Lucy, can you still hear me? Looks like it's working, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I'll carry on as if it is. So the point about this article syndication is that you put these articles onto websites, you get links back to your website. These links help you to get further up in the Google listings. And so if you're wanting to attract more traffic, you need to be adding more content to your website, and you need to be also getting these links from article websites. And it's not that you have to do all of this manually. You can outsource writing, and I can tell you how if you want those questions. You can outsource writing of the articles to students, to outsource companies. We provide written content if you need it. You can generate links back to your website from these article sites, and there's some great software that you can use. And if you go onto my website, there's a marketing resources section, and in that section there's a report telling you how to get to the top of Google, which goes into this in a bit more detail. So that's in my law firm marketing resources section, and you can download that report. In that, I'll show you some software which will allow you to put these articles in and get links back to your website from many different sources. So it can be done, and if you just did this consistently, you would get results. You would get whatever keywords you were targeting, you would start to get more results. So there are ways of getting to the top of Google organically, and that works well. So sufficient budget and expertise, set up a website and do internet generation. Can we do it? Yes, you absolutely can. If you did that system, if you did added content and got links back to your website from these article directories and other things, then you'd get great results. So that's definitely worth doing. Examples of I've done that for several clients, or lots of clients. We offer a complete service where we do that for you, which is there. If you go onto my website design, website marketing, we've got a brochure on there you can download and see how we can do it for you. But in terms of your own website, if you've already got one, start adding content, start generating links back, you'll start to get more traffic. The next question related to pay-per-click. How do I set up niche pay-per-click campaigns? How are ad groups structured? Let me get rid of some of these. Well, in the private zone of the Marketing for Solicitors, so everyone that joins Marketing for Solicitors has a login to this. They get to see all the information they're looking for. So they get to see all the toolkits that are instantly available to download about every aspect of marketing a law firm, from defining your message, advertising, website marketing, cross-selling, pay-per-click advertising. Then you get a guide in there showing you exactly what they need to do. And one of the things I also do is to put some video training guides up. And one of the members asked me to have a look at his pay-per-click campaign. And if I just show you what a pay-per-click campaign looks at, this is where you log into the pay-per-click campaign, and you'll see campaigns down the left-hand side, and then ad groups where you target typed search terms in here. And remember, these pay-per-click ads appear in the top 3 of the Google search on the right-hand side, and they are very effective. And for people that say, well, I don't click on them, let me assure you that lots of other people do. And so I'm just clicking into it. This is a video that's in the private zone, clicking into that ad group. And Francis wanted to know, how he can make groups, how he can make pay-per-click groups that work. The biggest problem most people have is what I'm showing you here, that there's too many keywords. So the top one, we got Notary Public, we got 19 clicks, 410 impressions. That's the number of times people have typed in the search Notary Public. And that's a very tight targeted search term, so that's good. But then underneath it, we've got all sorts: buying abroad, notarization, selling abroad, completely different keywords. Now, in this ad group, I would just have Notary Public as the only keyword, and anything else that says find a Notary Public, hire a Notary Public, because the ad copy you're going to write for this tightly targeted keyword has to relate to the search terms. If it doesn't, when people search on it, they're not going to click through. So the most important thing is to have very tightly targeted ad groups with just very few keywords. So in here we've only got one ad, and this is another common problem. You need to have 2 ads running at a time, and rotate those ads, and so each one will show you on the click-through here how often the ad gets a response. So if you had two running here, you might find that one's got a click-through rate of 1.30. So for every 100 times that ad is displayed, 1.3 people click on it. And if you've got another ad running, you might actually find I get some click-through rates where they're up to 7, 8, 9, 10% on some of my client campaigns because they're very tightly targeted. So because that notary public was in the ad, what you actually want to see is, so if we just did this as an example, put in there notary public, you can see there's some ads, pay-per-click ads at the top here, online notary public, low cost flexible notary services, and you'll see whenever the word notary is is in the ad, it gets highlighted. Same here, notary in Somerset, and same with the organic listings. But these pay-per-click ones, it's so important that let's try and target that a bit more. I can't get any more ads up. It's so important that you have the keywords in that ad. So the biggest mistake is always not having those, having the copy in the ad, not having the notary public word in the header, but also in the body copy of that ad, so that someone types in notary public, they see need a notary public, that's good, that's relevant. Then in here we've forgotten to mention notary publics again, so it should say expert notary public, specialist notary public, free initial appointments, call now, Martin Solicitors / notary. So you want to get those keywords in there as often as you can to make sure that people click through to your ad. And that's the biggest mistakes made on pay-per-click campaigns, not having small, tightly targeted pay-per-click advertisements that can attract traffic. So that's a huge change and the biggest thing to concentrate on with pay-per-click, Francis. I like this next question, moving on to sort of more general ones. Sorry, just a couple of things to clarify. What sort of inquiries should you be getting from your website? David says, is it worth it? Well, let me tell you that most firms I work with get anything from, depending whether they offer a range of service or a niche service, 20 to 100 or more inquiries a month from their website. And if you're not achieving that, you're definitely missing opportunities. So is it worth doing it if your current website's not working? Is it worth doing it, generating traffic, generating leads? Absolutely, yes it is. And I've seen visitors go just by doing the marketing systems I mentioned earlier of adding content, growing links, grow from 3,000 a month to over 12,000 to over 16,000 visits a month. So huge increase in traffic just using simple techniques. So definitely worth it. Next question, I like this one. Is there a secret to maintaining motivation once you've started marketing in the face of lack of enthusiasm, support from the rest of the firm? That's a cracking question. I've always found the key thing here is results. Results motivate. So doing the things that I'm telling you are working first, so you start seeing results, and it's amazing how quickly the other partners jump on board and try and claim that they've been instrumental in the turnaround in the firm's marketing. So results are the number one turnaround. Doing what we're talking about today makes a massive difference. Get some results and see them coming in, show the partners what's happening, and you'll be amazed how much more interested they become in what you're doing. And then the other things that I sort of did a lot of research about what made my clients successful and what made them not so successful, and sort of looked at common factors and came up with my golden rules of marketing for solicitors, which is not so much practical marketing steps, but is about what character traits and what you need to do to make sure you can survive and be successful in marketing. And the most important part is marketing needs consistent action. I know you're busy people. I know you have clients to look after. But unless you get on top of your marketing and spend, my recommendation, 30 minutes and the first 30 minutes of everyday marketing you'll practice, which is one of my first golden rules, you'll struggle to see progress, you'll struggle to get results, and you'll struggle to stay motivated. So you've got to spend regular time doing this. The other key thing, and this is probably more vital, because you're lawyers and used to there being a right and a wrong answer, it's difficult to accept that in marketing that's not always the case. I could give one of you a system to market your practice, and it could work fantastically. I could take the exact same words and put an ad in the same paper in the local area for another firm, and it could fail. Everything is different. The type of firm you are is different, and so you can't expect all marketing to work. But what you do have to do is keep trying different things. And my best example of this is my profit flowcast model, where you imagine you're Profits are the river in the middle here that you see. If you have one system feeding that river, you have a certain amount of profits flowing down the middle. If you add a new system to that river, it gets slightly fatter, gets slightly fuller, more profits. If you add a third system, it gets wider still. If you keep on trying new marketing methods and bringing them into your marketing mix, you will get more and more clients. Not all of them will work. That's fine. Find the ones that don't work, move on, try and improve them. If they don't work, find another one, try something else, keep going until you find what works for you. The biggest mistake most solicitors make with marketing that I meet is they have one or two effective ways of bringing in clients, and that's it. That's not enough. You can never grow your profits if you're just relying on one or two simple methods of bringing in work. You've got to try new methods, and it's got to be a consistent thing. Don't get to the point where you say, great, I've hit my targets, I'm going to stop now. Keep going. You've got to keep trying and keep finding new things, and that's the only way that you can really grow your profit flowcast. So it's vital that you try different things, and trying these different things will find you more things that work, which will make sure, Nick, that your partners stay motivated and interested in what you're doing. And the final thing is perfection kills momentum in all marketing. Again, lawyers generally, because they are perfectionists, they want everything to be right. They hold off from launching a website, they hold off from posting an advertisement, or they hold off from doing a direct mail campaign because it's not quite perfect. Get it out there, get it working, test it, see what happens, and then try and come back and improve it and change it, come back afterwards. Don't just go on, don't just sort of wait for it to be perfect. You'll just miss too many opportunities. And the final thing I'd say, obviously, is if you get to the point that you need help, you need someone to help you, cajole you, push you along, legal marketing consultant, come and have an afternoon with me. Let me show you exactly what I can do for you on my Hidden Profits Discovery Day. Totally risk-free. Don't pay if you don't like it. But I know I can help you. And what I said at the beginning, I meant I don't want you sitting there worrying. There are masses of opportunities out there. If you don't know how, get some help from someone that does. And that's me or somebody else that does what I do. But don't just sit there and worry about it. There are huge opportunities out there. Next question, or the two questions are similar. How can I become a panel solicitor for referrals from organisations such as trade unions or before the event insurers and corporate legal services? How do I get retainers from larger firms? And this is something that sort of is featured in my cross-selling sales and marketing toolkit. Shows you how to get more clients, 119 ways. And again, I'm going to show you how you can get that completely free in a very few moments, because I realise time is flying by as I thought it would in a live event. So my cross-selling and referrals toolkit gives you 119 ways to generate new inquiries. But the most important thing when you're trying to get referrals from larger businesses is consistency. They are not sitting there waiting for you to write to them. They're not sitting there looking for a new panel solicitor or a new firm to take over their retainer work if you're corporate work. They are sitting there and they've already got a solicitor. So the only way you're going to get yourself a chance of getting some work from them is by being a constant nag and being in their face as often as you can, so that you get the chance when they have a moment where they're fed up with their solicitor. Now, most people don't change their accountants or their lawyer or any professional service provider until they're fed up with them, until they've had enough of them. Now, where most solicitors fail, and I've seen this time and time again, is they'll send one letter that says, we want work from you, tell us how, here's our number, phone us. No, I'm not interested in you. As I say, marketing is all about putting the person first. In this case, the referrer. You have to say what's in it for them. Why should I do that? Why should I talk to you? Why should I find out about your service? You've got to woo me. You've got to court me. You've got to go back to those days where you've got to woo someone, send flowers, send presents, send gifts, send different size packages, send different message formats, send a video link, a personalized video link. Send something to them. Once you've found the key decision maker, your job is to make it impossible for them to forget you. So that moment in time that they're looking to change their provider, you are the first person that comes up and you're the first person they call. Now that's where you want to be. It takes time, it takes consistent effort, and that's why, Paddy, it doesn't generally happen. People give up far too quickly. They'll send one letter, so they didn't get in touch with me, that's rubbish. When I was a solicitor and I was doing the marketing for the firms I worked for, I constantly used to get called by marketing people trying to sell me different packages. And I found that they'd always call me back. I knew they'd call me back because they're trying to sell me something. It's the same in this position. You are trying to sell your services, so you need to be the one that will call back constantly. You need to be the one that gets thicker skin and says, I'm just going to keep going until I get a response from these people. I want this work. Because if you win it, if you win a big retainer or you win big referrals from fully oriented insurers, it's worth a lot of money to your business. That's not going to happen just by sending one letter. It'd be ridiculous to think that it could be. You've got to send lots of letters, different packages, different ways of showing that what you can do, and you've got to make it personalized. Again, the major problems people have is they just send a standard letter. Show me that you've researched my website, you found that I'm the decision maker for this business, you've seen that I do certain services that you think you could help me with, tell me why you think that you're the best one to help me with, and then keep going and don't give up, and have a system, a diary note like you would case management, to keep following up until you get a yes or a please don't ever contact me again or I am going to call the police. If you get to that point, wait 3 months, then start contacting again, because that person might have left the business by that point. And I'm not joking. It does happen. People leave businesses, new decision maker comes in, then you have another chance. And I've seen that work with people. So thick skin and consistency is vital. Next question from Zara. I'm working from home in Essex as a consultant for a firm. Whilst I'm well known with the agents, public have never heard of the firm. How best do I get them out there? Well, this is doing what I do and doing what I teach all of you and Marketing Solicitors members to do, is just to be seen as the expert. So it's about commenting, having a blog, commenting on all local issues that are related to it looks like you're a property solicitor, so comment on all topical local property issues, talk about big property sales in the area, the history of properties, write articles about moving home in Essex, in your area of Essex, get out and about, talk to people about what you do, stay in and get out and about by going on LinkedIn and commenting, find property groups in LinkedIn in Essex and comment on those and give your expert advice. Don't, at any of these networking or LinkedIn events, don't push for work, just give help and people will come to you when they're ready. So it's about that expert model, pay-per-click marketing, website marketing, blogging, LinkedIn, commenting on other people's blogs, and you'll be amazed when you start doing that consistently, and consistently, as I've said now a few times, is key. You will start to get people asking you to comment in the press, which is great for your credibility, great for building the firm's name, and you'll get all sorts of people coming to you with offers that you wouldn't do if you were invisible on the web as you are now. So following that expert model is crucial. And then finally, or a couple one, especially I like the last one particularly, cheapest way of winning new instructions. My favourite, and I will come to that because I've got something for that. Then I've got that cracking offer for you because I realise we're nearly there. This one's an interesting one. I would like comments, please, on the difficulty of promoting the firm to very different sorts of people. Legal aid divorce clients need an approach which is different from high-value ancillary referral probate clients. What attracts one may repel the other. First things first, if they're different demographic clients, then advertising one publication where one demographic sits won't be seen by the other ones. Second question here is, do you really want to be doing both ends of the scale? It might actually be a good decision if you're doing the high value ancillary relief to drop the lower value stuff, or if you enjoy the lower value stuff to drop the higher value stuff, because it is difficult to get that message across. If you are set on doing that, then the only way to do it is to niche one of the services. So if you want to keep doing the legal aid work, but you're getting more work from your website if you're in business at the moment at the higher value, then set up a niche brand, a sub-brand of your firm that targets that legal aid work, that can have a completely different sub-brand, sub-domain, different website, so that it isn't a mixed message. And quite a lot of larger firms do that with their personal injury services, so that the commercial clients don't get oopsie-doopsie about someone doing dirty personal injury work as it's seen by the commercial guys. So that's the answers to that, really. Last question, and any other questions that I haven't got to, I'll try and answer afterwards. But if you're a member of Marketing Solicitors, and you will be by the end of this course, it's just too good an opportunity to miss, then I will be able to answer your questions in a monthly call-in, which we do as part of that. Finally, cheapest way of winning new instructions. The cheapest way, bar none, is best shown by an example. 2 of my Marketing Solicitors clients recently have given in to my nagging and finally sent emails to their database. I use Aweber, which is a great piece of software that's on that marketing resources page. And one of them had 6 new instructions and the other one had 5 new instructions. So from one email, they've got 5 and 6 new bits of business respectively. So if you do not yet have an email database, that is the cheapest way, bar none, without exception, without fail, of getting new instructions. It's easy to do these days. So I show my members how to do it with Aweber. There's a training video guide in the private zone, the Marketing Solicitors private zone. I show you how to do it. There's no excuse now for not having a database of existing clients. Most solicitors struggle or say, well, I'm going to wait until it's perfect. I'm going to wait until I have 1,000 solicitors on there, 1,000 clients. Then I'm going to start email. Just go straight away. Get one on there. Start today, adding clients to your email database. Start talking to them on a monthly basis. You will get instructions. Another thing then is to improve your current conversion. So if you've got inquiries coming in already, convert those inquiries better. Most people amaze me that they don't have brochures. If you get an inquiry coming in, most solicitors will take the phone call, send an email, here's the cost, we can do the work, and that is it. And there's no way that's enough. And I've done a client conversion toolkit to show you that you need to have a system, you need to send an email the same day, you need to send a letter, you need to follow up phone call, you need to include a brochure. If I am choosing you as a professional service provider, you have to sell to me in a professional service way. Sending an email is not enough. And in a time when people are sending less post, your letter stands out even more. So if I'm looking at choosing your firm or one or two others, and you all sound very similar on the phone, you've got the same sort of expertise, cost is about the same. If two of the firms just send me an email and I don't hear anything from them, but one firm sends me a letter that arrives the next day with a brochure with happy client comments on it showing me how great they are, which firm goes massively to the top of the queue? Well, that's my client conversion toolkit, and I'll show you now how you can get that free. The other point you want to do is make sure you're making offers to your clients every single month. If you're sending out letters, you might as well include an offer about a new service, a different service that they're not using. You're sending the postage out. Include something with it. Lloyds Bank, Barclays Bank, all the banks do it because it works, and you can take a leaf out of their book and do that too. It's well worth it. Now, I said at the beginning, there is plenty of opportunity for you out here. And there really is. There's massive opportunity. I can show you how to get more clients. I can show you how to make your advertisements ring. I can show you how to do all this today completely risk-free for £50 investment, which you can get back if you're not entirely satisfied after 30 days. So you can get my advertising success secrets. I showed you some of the details, how to write a good ad, use my pasta formula. You can get 119 ways to cross-sell your services. Now, if you read that 119 ways to cross-sell your services and you don't find one way that instantly brings in new business for you, I will be amazed. So that's normally £99. That's free today if you join Marketing for Solicitors. And here's the page at the top here, sansonconsulting.co.uk/now. You also can watch my Golden Rules of Marketing for Solicitors webinar completely free of charge. That will tell you what you need to understand, the mindset you need to make your marketing work for you. Okay, these are all things that I know can transform your marketing, but the biggest one of all, I'm putting those through free today. If you take action today, you get those free. So that's £248 free. And then you join Marketing for Solicitors. You get access to that private zone I showed you where you've got video training guides. You've got the 14 blueprints showing you how to use pay-per-click, search engine optimization, showing you how to advertise, showing you how to use video, showing you how to blog. You've got everything there showing you exactly what you need to do to generate work and generate clients now. And you also send out a printed circular every month showing you the latest techniques, showing you extra tools and resources that you can use to generate new client instructions. There are huge opportunities for you to be winning business now. Please don't sit there and worry. I've got resources here to help you today for just £50, totally guaranteed, risk-free, because I don't want you to do this if it doesn't work for you. I want you to try it. I want it to work for you. If it's not working, just tell me. I'll give you your £50 back. You've had £298 worth of marketing help, and you will have paid nothing for it. I'm so confident I can help you that I'm happy to make that guarantee if it encourages you to click this button here from the now/now page, go on, enter your card details, and join Marketing for Solicitors. It's as simple as that. If at the end of the 30 days you're not happy, look, my email, phone number, plastered all over my website. You can't miss it. I'm here, as I showed you at the beginning. This is really me. I really do exist. And so it's easy for you to say, actually, Nick, that didn't work for me. I didn't like it. Or what I hope you'll say is, damn, I wish I tried this earlier. And that's what most people say. So I'm really keen that you do something today. Come and join me at sansonconsulting.co.uk/now. Take advantage of this offer right now. I'm only going to leave the page up for a few days. Take some action, see some results, and start to realize that it doesn't have to be hard. You can be led by someone that's doing this all of the time, that wants to help you. And I hope today, even if you don't do that, you found today helpful, and it's shown you a few things that make you think, I can do some of this. There are some things I could do that could make a difference. I'm really keen that that would work for you. I'm really keen that you take some action now, and I hope that you will do so. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have a cracking, wet, miserable Wednesday afternoon. Don't let the weather deter you from taking some action to get some new clients into your business right now. You know where I am if you need me. I've given you enough opportunity to interact. If you haven't had questions answered, say just ping me an email and I'll be glad to come back to you. Thanks very much.